Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about Taxon, the new player sentinel that's actually surprisingly great. Taxon, despite being added in 2017, is one of the newest sentinels that was added into the game, and he's most likely going to be your first sentinel as you get a blueprint for him when you finish the Earth to Venus junction. So he's obviously meant to be a new player sentinel. However, people very quickly realized that Taxon is actually a fairly decent defensive option when it comes to companions thanks to his ability to constantly restore your shields. So a lot of people ended up using him in a later game as well as sort of a shield battery. Then Taxon got a bit of a bump up when they introduced shield gating, and now with this companion rework, Taxon is better than ever. So we're gonna start off with molecular conversion, which blasts an enemy within 10 meters, converting 200 damage into shields for your frame. You wanna make sure this is in the top left slot. Then we're gonna put in Guardian, which also restores your shields, but differently. Basically, when your shields are depleted, it instantly restores them to full. Then we have a bit of a flex slot. I like to run Coolant Leak here, which is great for dealing with melee enemies as it provides a 3-meter aura around the sentinel that slows enemies down by 10%, but you can replace this with another bond mod, sacrifice, sanctuary, or what I would actually recommend, Mediray. This will occasionally heal your Warframe for 12% of its maximum health over 4 seconds. This is a great source of healing, though it's generally better on Warframes that have a lot of maximum health. But anyway, next on the menu we have Primed Regen, which cuts out on the downtime if the sentinel were to die. So instead of waiting 60 seconds, you're gonna have to wait about 30-ish, give or take. Next up, we need to put on Retarget so that the sentinel actually attacks stuff. We put on Vacuum for vacuum, and then we move on to Bonds. First up, we have Manifold. This allows the sentinel to apply status effects from its weapons via its precepts, but more importantly, it reduces the cooldown of its abilities by 3 seconds whenever you kill an enemy that has 3 or more unique status effects on them. This is important for Taxon because Guardian has a 30-second cooldown, Molecular Conversion is about a 12-second cooldown, and if you run Mediray, that has a 15-second cooldown. So Manifold Bond allows Taxon to restore your shields far more frequently as long as you can reliably proc 3 or more status effects on these enemies, which nowadays most builds can. This is also why we run Mystic Bond, which once Taxon casts 5 abilities with a cooldown, we get a buff that allows us to cast 1 Warframe ability for free. And to top it all off, we add some Chong, which is going to be accelerated deflection for better shield gating for Taxon, as well as enhanced vitality for more health. Now, one cool thing about Taxon is that you can kind of play around his abilities, because while Guardian triggers as soon as you hit 0 shields, Molecular Conversion only has a 10-meter range. So if you want to be really extraordinarily sweaty, you can stay at range and only run in for the shield refill. It's very much not necessary though, especially since you're going to be lowering the cooldown on it through Manifold Bond. Now, one thing about shield gating that I want to mention here is that while it prevents enemy damage from bleeding over into your health pool for a period of time, it does not protect your shields. So if your shields get depleted and you trigger a shield gate and Taxon restores your shields back up, they can still get damaged. This kind of devalues the Guardian precept on catalyzing shield setups, which generally have a very low amount of shields. It doesn't make him useless for catalyzing shield setups, it's always nice to just randomly restore your shields, right? But it makes it far more valuable on something like Hildrin, where restoring all your shields is far more valuable. Especially now, since shields provide a much higher damage resistance. And that is pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.